looking at you.
Welcome to this week's episode of Car Stars and Roll Bars. I'm Mike Kinney, your host. Each week, we have all facets of what's going on in this automotive culture, whether it's builders or collections, and every once in a while, we have an extra special guest. This is a very good friend of ours, Rich Hopkins. He has been around forever, in my humble opinion. Thrill Seekers Unlimited. He does stuff that will blow you away that you see in the movies. How is that remotely possible? Well, not does he know how to do it. He knows how to do it safely, and at the same point in time, have a great shot. But before we bring him on, we've got a video that way you're not just taking Mikey's word for it and all the stuff he's done. Hey, Rick, hit that one, buddy. I warned you. Well, and we are extra lucky today because we happen to have Rich in the studio with us. Man, Rich, it's so good to see you again, my brother. And
Yeah.
We kind of look like one of those commercials about this is how you can grow hair as a man, you know, like brothers of another mother. So how you doing, man?
I'm fabulous. Thank you for having me.
Excellent.
Appreciate it.
Well, I've talked with you before, and we always run each other NHRA motorsports event. Your pedigree, for lack of a better word, you've done stunts that most people, I don't even think candidly they would dream about it, much less think about doing it, and you're successful with it. So how do you do all this? You've got this crazy mind to rig stuff up, and it works, right?
I think the success is staying alive this long. I'm going on 35 years of pounding the ground and crashing stuff and burning, and
wow,
I'm still hanging in there.
You are still hanging in there. Well, we got some pictures coming up, and we're going to call them, not unsurprisingly, stunts. So let's kind of step through a few of these, Rich. So looks like this kind of getting set up to get wrecked. That would be a fair statement?
Yeah, that was with Criss Angel on Mind Freak.
Yeah.
So the key was he was manacled and shackled and handcuffed in a coffin, basically. He had to get out of it before the car on driving hits the box and the whole thing explodes. So that was pretty wild.
So, okay, just before you hit the box and the box explodes and you're in the car. And there we are.
Yeah, there it was. And there's Criss on the ground right there. So.
Wow. Very, very cool.
Yeah, it was a good one.
I think we got, this is nuts. So this is not, obviously this is not like a Uber prepared stunt vehicle, but you guys had a few tricks up your sleeve to be able to pull all this off.
Yeah,
right?
well, this was for a Kia commercial featuring Andre Agassi.
Right.
I was the stunt coordinator, and I was also, believe it or not, Andre's stunt double.
No way.
I pulled my hair back in a ponytail, and I was like, we see the cars tinted pretty well, so I did all the precision driving. Then my buddy Gary Laurent actually did this jump, so we set up the ramps, and the way to float the car out nice and level was I had to calculate the weight of the engine versus the back of it. So we had to load it up with sandbags.
So it's not top heavy,
yeah,
front heavy.
So we loaded the back end up with sandbags. I even threw a few more to the passenger side to counter the driver's weight.
There you go.
And we floated that bad boy out, landed it like a mother, and yeah, that was
cool.
That was a good one.
Actually, we have a video.
That's me in the front, like no shirt. It's like 110 degrees in the desert.
You're styling.
Yeah, right. I look kind of lean there too.
Yeah, you got that physique going on. We got a couple more. Hello. That's like the end result, right? Of just a planned stunt. Wow.
Yes.
So you guys can kind of bang them a little bit.
God, I don't even know where you got that one from. That was from Sushi Girl. What we did was we cannon rolled a van after it hit this car. So basically the pole that you can see laying under the front of it is actually the plunger from when the cannon went off inside the van. It flipped it. You know, so basically it was supposed to give the illusion of hitting the front of that car and then rolling.
Sure.
And it rolled perfectly and actually landed back on the wheels.
Nice.
And then all the bank robbers or the diamond robbers,
Yep.
which is Mark Hamill, Tony Todd, Noah Hathaway, James Duval, they come running out of the van. So that was
Nice.
that was what happened to the victim car.
The balance of the vehicle.
Yeah.
I think now, what is this about? I mean, there's like some serious heavy equipment going on. There's like somebody on a quad back in there.
Yeah.
So what kind of mad scientist deal is going on here?
Well, if you see in the front of the loader that's in the middle, there's a camera actually right there. We had the grip and lighting to dig a hole to put the camera in, so the shot was coming towards the camera and passing over it.
Wow.
That was for a promotion for the Gold Rush TV show on Discovery.
Yeah. Got it.
So
got it.
all Parker Schnabel and what's his name? Todd Hoffman. Like, I've seen the show a few times, but I wasn't an Uber fan or whatever. But they were super cool to work with.
Yeah.
Another hot day out on the desert, El Dorado Lake bed. We did all kinds of driving shots promoting the up and coming season, which was 5 or 6 years ago now.
Yeah. But some of them are kind of timeless.
These are cool. I'm some of these shots, I'm not sure where you're pulling them from.
Well,
but
we kind of sniff around
you
some of the
guys did
stuff.
some digging.
We did some digging,
We
baby.
did some research. Okay. What else? Oh, there we go.
Now, we might recognize this young man. So you are jumping off a very tall, perfectly good building, trusting your life with a cable.
Well, what I'm doing here is I'm testing a descender off of the Palms Hotel. Okay, so we had a high speed descender winch, and the reason I'm testing it because the gentleman that actually did the stunt was a guy named Sir Richard Branson.
We might have heard of that name.
Yes. So what the gag was is that we were lowering him high speed down to the porta chair roof, and then he was going to go out and welcome the crowd, reach into his tuxedo and pull out. He had a stack of like round trip air tickets to anywhere Virgin flies. So the gag was lower him down. He welcomes everyone and throws the tickets out to the crowd and stuff. So I was testing it. Somebody's got to do it. And come on, how much fun can you have flying at 60 feet a second? So
I absolutely will.
I will never put anybody on something I'm not willing to test and try and do myself.
Good for you, brother.
So
I think we got one more. Oh, here we go now. Yeah. So this is one of the areas that what you're known for in Canada. You do it exceptionally well, and just for our viewers, there is all this. Until I got to know you, I didn't realize the backstory and what it takes to get prepared for this, and then how it's actually executed. It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, a lot of prep goes into it. This fire burn I actually had to do twice because one of the camera guys wasn't positioned right or whatever. And usually it's a whole process to like strip down and re-prep everything and get suited up again.
Yep.
So I did a huge burn, and then they watched playback real quick, and they're like, "Oh, this wasn't a good angle." So I ran over to my guys. I said, "Prep me back up." I said, "You guys get ready to go. Don't blow it. Get this shot." I just had them paint me back up. So I did 2 of these back to back for this production.
Wow. Unbelievable. And, you and I have talked before, is that just, especially with that, and some of the driving aspects is obviously, car stars and roll bars, where all the cool stuff going on, is some of the conversation we had before, where you have to explain to some of the producers newer to the game, and some of these car scenes or the chases or the crash that's going to be, is how they have to make sure everything's positioned appropriately, right?
Absolutely.
You don't want to have the camera guy standing where you're going to make like a hard right-hand turn, and they're on the left-hand side of the vehicle, and they may become literally part of the shot. Is that?
Yeah, well, my job as a stunt coordinator is to coordinate with every single department. Okay, if we're going to be sliding cars around the corner, I don't want my camera in what would be considered the fall line or the slide line. So we would put them back over here. Preparation is key to every shot, no matter if it's a car stunt, fire stunt, whatever. It's making sure everybody's in sync.
Perfect. It's kind of cool.
That always makes it a lot easier.
Kind of like that.
Yeah.
Well, we like our videos as well. We have one we call a collage, and we got a few different shots here. And one of them, here's a little bit of a teaser, may actually star somebody that you all are having the pleasure to meet today. I'm not saying nothing. Hey, Rick, hit the play button for collage, buddy.
Slam in the UK. A Grand Slam in France. A Grand Slam in Australia. The new fully equipped Sorrento four-wheel drive at just $37,950. It's another grand.
Where are you heading?
Somewhere amazing.
Hop in.
Hop in.
Notice no hair in that thing with Sarah Palin? It's amazing what you can do when you tuck your hair up, you know?
So what fun was that, driving that old convertible, get to slam the brakes and Sarah Palin hops in? So your day job's not too shabby.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool. I mean, the only problem with that one, we were filming in Scottsdale and it was hot as you know what out there, and the car didn't like it. So luckily the guy who owned the car was there. He knew all the new, you know, like older cars have their own little nuances.
Yes,
and as we all know, I had a 56 Caddy, and so he was there to kind of just keep it dialed in and give her a little rest in between breaks and things like that. So, that was a lot of fun. I asked the guy, what can I do with it and this and that, because I didn't want to just pull up like all mousy.
Oh no!
I'm like, dude, can I come in and bomb it in and then slide up on there? He's like, yeah, man, go for it.
All right, it came out good. And now we saw the commercial with the Scions, I think it's pronounced. And so it looked like there was about 100 of them, and they're fit in with like checkers on a checkers board. So how many stunt people did you have in that?
We had 20 stunt drivers. They brought 10 from LA, and then I had 10 of my guys. Wow. And we all had to do this synchronized dance. Everything was set up. We had Tom Schaus from Sundance Helicopters following us around.
Yeah.
We were out in the Valley of Fire, and I mean, it was a cool commercial.
Oh, absolutely. And it looked so smooth. Because I'm sitting there watching it as we're building the show, and the more I looked at it, I went, what? Because there's so much going on there, and the way those they zipper together and just you make it look seamless. Talking about seamless, little king of segue.
Okay.
We got a series of shots we're going to call sets, and for the viewers, this is what it looks like for some of these car chases, right? Where you got the drama, and you see the driver go, ooh. Well, you got to have some gear rigged around that vehicle so you can get the shot you need, right, brother?
Yes. So, this is a standard, hood mount.
Yep.
Got the camera on a 2-shot on your actors up front, which was Kenny Johnson and a guy named Ryan Fox. That was for a film called Zizix, based on Zizix Road.
Okay, nice, yes.
Yeah, most people coming in or out of Vegas pass Zizix Road.
Past Zizix Road.
And back in the day, that used to be like a holistic retreat.
Yeah, it was like the water is supposed to have healing
properties.
Yeah,
it was like a spa. But then there were rumors that crazy people were, it turned from spa to crazy person encampment.
Just
and all this weird stuff was supposed to go down.
Yeah.
So we're actually out in the little town, believe it or not. Like if you drive way out there, there's this little town out there. And so we were prepping this shot for the actors.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very.
What else you got?
Here we go.
We are in a parking lot off of Convention Center Drive, and if you see the pretty orange car that happens to be the color of NOS energy drink, that is a Toyota Supra, 850 horsepower.
What?
And I had one of my top drift car drivers. Driving, and I was sitting shotgun the whole time on a headset with the camera crew, which you see the ultimate arm there on a, that's either a Porsche Cayenne or I think that was a Porsche. So basically we did some insane shots. As a matter of fact, one shot on this was fairly hair-raising, and I got a lot of hair to raise.
Yeah, I'll say that's saying something, brother.
So we are one shot is us going through the DI tunnel at 80 miles an hour.
Get out.
So we are in the wrong lane heading east towards the convention center with the Ultimate Arm car coming towards us in the other lane. Well, the arm is down on the ground in front of us. So we're coming at each other at 80 miles an hour. So we're doing 160 and closing. And talk about being in sync. They had to, as we're coming up, the camera's low. They have to lift it.
So you could shoot it.
So we can go under it. We said a little prayer, and I told the camera op, I said, man, I don't want to eat this camera. We're done. If we eat this camera, we're done.
Hey, Rick, bring us back on screen for a moment. So for our viewers, when we talk DI, it's Desert End
Tunnel.
Tunnel here. And it's kind of by the convention center. It's this beautiful kind of underpass, if you will. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of structure around you. So if you go through at 35 mile an hour, kind of feels a little frisky. But when you guys are hitting 80, dang. So I kind of got you squinty-eyed a little bit. Yeah,
I was sitting shotgun and Josh Weaver's driving, and I go, man, let's not have a princess die, incident here in this tunnel.
Okay. No, anything about Princess Di, please all send all cards, letters, and postcards to me. Rich Hopkins, Thrill Seekers. Let's go back to some more pictures before we get in more trouble here. Now, this is a commercial I think you guys did at Hoover Dam. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Not only on Hoover Dam, in Hoover Dam. Okay, so this was for the new electric Porsche Taycan.
Right.
And I think the commercial was called Hey Electricity.
Yeah. Yep.
They were announcing their new electric vehicle. Right. So we're driving along the top of the van. And it was crazy because, I mean, a lot of people maybe not know that dam is watched and guarded by military.
Absolutely.
Like we had to have military clearance because the camera car and us, they were chasing us through the catacombs of the dam. So we're actually in the dam chasing each other through the tunnels in there. Oh, cool. It was crazy. It was such a great experience.
Yeah, again, this is that bucket list stuff. I think we got one or two more here. Oh. And now I never thought I would actually be talking about you and being in a highway patrol sheriff's uniform, but here we are.
Yeah. Well, it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird at so many levels, man.
Believe it or not, I play a cop a lot.
This is true.
I play military.
Yeah.
Like in the Nick Cage film, I have my hair I have my hair undercut.
Right.
Around the sides. Yep. Two reasons, because it's really curly on the sides, so I'd look like my buddy Carrot Top if I grew the sides and the back out or whatever.
This is true.
But it gives me versatility. I can look like I do normally, like you, long hair, hippie guys. But then I can put my hair up in a hat or a helmet, and I can play a cop or military. So, I mean, I've done cop roles 3 or 4 times.
Excellent.
Played an FBI agent with Mel Gibson, had the hair up in an FBI hat. Right here, I don't know what project this is, maybe
very,
7
very
Days Alive or something.
I think we got one. Now this is kind of, again, this is all the gear that goes on when you see some of these crash scenes and chase scenes, because you want that driver to be protected as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, basically I was going to T-bone a car that was disabled on the side of the road. I was stunt doubling somebody.
Yep. So
if you see, I've got more or less catchers or motocross shin guards that cover, Also, I look a little bit bigger than I am because I'm actually wearing a spine protector backwards on my chest.
Yep.
So if I had to eat, eat in the wheel and stuff like that, I padded up. We didn't put any custom belts or anything because I wasn't flipping it.
Right.
But I did pad up the wheel. I padded up the seat belt, and I cinched that down really tight. And I just took the hit.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I just love it. That's what else we got coming up. Now, that's one of I like this shot, and you're kind of going, hey there, how we doing?
I'm even rocking the same outfit I have on today.
There we are.
Ironclad, my buddies from my glove sponsor, Ironclad, get a plug in there. That's on the set of something that hasn't come out yet. It was called...
okay.
what was it called? We're downtown somewhere, but I just had to snap a selfie, you know, with all the gear and everyone milling around in the back.
Absolutely.
So.
I think we got one more coming up. Now, this is probably, I think, the iconic picture of you, dude. You're in the shotgun seat. You got gear all around you. You got crew, and you are obviously having the time of your life, Biehn.
Yeah. One correction, I'm actually sitting in the driver's seat, and here's what we're getting ready to do.
That's what I was going for. Yeah.
Well, this is called a hostess tray mount, which will mount on the side of a vehicle. Now, the fun part about this was a film called Big Life, and I'm getting ready to dance with a semi-truck.
Nice.
Okay, so basically, there's a semi-truck that is kidnapped the character. I'm doubling a guy. I think I may be doubling Robert Davi or somebody. So the bad guys are in the semi with his daughter. So I'm basically like, I'm dancing with this semi. I'm trying to push him off the road, and he ends up pushing me off the road, and I slide out, and so we had a. The gnarly part was, I'm coming in on the semi, and I knew I had to stay X amount of feet
because of the
camera. I mean, if I clip the camera on the semi, there goes a $500,000 camera.
Real? Oh my!
Yeah.
I had no idea. Wow.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious! Wow. He's going to $500,000. That's as much as some people's houses. Okay. We got another video coming up. We got some pics coming up. We got special celebrity shots coming up. Before we jump into that part of the pond, man, I got to caveat this one for you, Haas. To date, what's your favorite automotive memory?
Oh,
man, I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Woo. Yeah.
I mean, I've done so many car commercials.
Well, that's true. What's the wildest one you've done with a car? Maybe we frame it that way.
Probably the NOS.
Okay.
I mean, we are doing some pretty intense shots. I mean, we are doing high speed, sketchy stuff.
Okay. How about we'll shift gears? Pardon the pun.
Yeah.
What's your favorite automobile that you don't crash? We got to clear this up.
Well, right now, I mean, I have an SVT Cobra convertible.
Nice.
Okay, so I like that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would like to obtain something like, I've always liked Porsches.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to have a 930 slant nose. Convertible would be cool.
It
would fit in the garage right next to the SVT.
Yeah,
so
it'd be a complimentary.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Probably.
There's so many great cars out there.
I know.
I mean, but obviously, I mean, I tend to be the muscle car. You got the bad car.
Oh, I just thank you. She is awesome. Fun. 426 ME 4-speed. 2 4 barrels, just the way it should be. Hey, we got a few shots of media. So if you haven't seen this before, how high, how steep, how fast, who cares? That's you got. You just do it, right? I mean, this is no wannabe deal here. You guys, but I just love it. Who cares?
Well, that's a graphic that's on our T-shirts.
Right.
I'm wondering I'm like, how did you get that? I don't even know where that is. That's the artwork for our T-shirts.
Now, and it's always good when you get ink, and so obviously you've got a great feature here kind of talking about what you've been doing and how you go about life.
That was a nice little local piece. I think the Las Vegas Weekly did a nice little thing.
Yeah.
Appreciate our local media.
Yeah, man of fire. You betcha. And obviously you do a great job with podcasts as well, coming in studio with us. We appreciate it. Yeah. And so you're not a one-trick pony. You're very comfortable behind the microphone, sort of.
Yeah. I mean, after 35 years, I've done a little bit. As a matter of fact, that's Ron Futrell.
Oh, yeah. Our buddy Ron. Yeah. Yes, sir.
He's right. I was on his show right there.
Too funny.
That was a sports talk.
Yeah. I think we got one more shot at. And look, man, you got all your gear on. The hair's laying down the way it should be. Just having fun, right?
Yeah, that was a cool little podcast about the film industry called Cinema Crunch. And
very cool.
Little Rose Donahue, cute little anchor.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So for the viewers, because we love having our videos, and That's kind of worked out handy. Earlier when we were showing the sets and you're going, ooh, this car is for the NOS commercial and some of the stuff you had to do. Okay, remember what Rich just told you. Watch this. Hey, Rick, get ready for NOS. I really, really like this commercial, but I got to be candid. When you explain what's going on behind the scenes, and now I'm going, wow.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. We had drones and we had all kinds of crazy shots going. So that was a lot of fun.
And for the viewers, Rich he's a very kind guy and very humble, but very patient with me. There is so many moving parts to have a successful commercial with a car in it, anything. But if you do it well, nobody really sees anything else, right? They're focused on that scene, the vehicle, the celebrity driver, and you're in the background going, yeah, we got that.
Well, in that case, I was sitting shotgun. I wasn't even in the background. I was sitting right there with my buddy on the headset with the director, and we were communicating, checking off all the boxes, making sure we got everything. So
okay, so Rich won't talk about this, so I will. Over the years, well, I got to back up. A lot of people, I might know this one celebrity. Or I actually saw him in an airport, and I waved at him. I think he waved back. Well, Rich won't really brag on this, so I'm going to. You have a lot of people you've run with, my friend. So, hey, Rick, pull up those, we call them, I think, celebrities, ironic, but hey!
The chef.
Yeah, the chef. Dude.
Robert Irvine.
Yes.
Restaurant Impossible.
Got it, okay.
We were on top of the Tropicana here for his press conference.
Got it.
He built a restaurant inside the Tropicana called Public House. So what better way to announce through a PR campaign? We had him rappel down the side of the Tropicana. I unhook him. He walks over to the podium, says, "Welcome to our grand opening."
Beautiful. I love it.
Nice guy.
Nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, little
Revo.
Golden Knights thing going on.
Reeves. Mm-hmm. Ryan Reeves. This was for when we did 4 commercials for the water district.
Oh, cool.
Those ones where he was slamming into people.
Right,
we had the barbecue one. We had one where a guy's flipping over a car. We had a guy get shoved through a living room window into a table. So basically the whole thing was don't overwater. So Ryan Reeves comes up, checks the guy, they go flying. Nice guy.
Nice guy.
Too bad he's not with us anymore.
Yeah, we understand. Just be careful watering your yard if he happens to be within eye distance.
Yeah, right. Who else we got? Oh, okay.
Hello. Hey.
Well, there's me. Yeah. The guy in the middle is Matt Jaskell, a buddy of mine who's segueing into stunt work. He's a professional race car driver.
Oh,
he's raced NASCAR in the Xfinity Series.
Beautiful.
Gentleman on the right is Steve Darnell from Vegas Rat Rods.
Vegas Rat Rods, welder up.
Mm-hmm. We're out in the desert shooting a commercial for Canon cameras. So I recruited Steve to bring out a few of his crazy mobiles, and so we had Matt and Byron, and we had a couple motorcycle guys wheeling out, and so we did like I think it was a 15-minute, I guess you could call it like a short movie promoting Canon cameras.
Perfect.
It was rad.
Perfect.
Yeah, good time.
Love it. Hey, there's our friend.
Penn and Teller, and I don't know if you know the guy in the middle of Penn and Teller. Remember him? George Maloof.
Oh my, yes.
Okay, so that was the day, that other picture where I'm hanging off the top of the building. Right. This was right before Richard Branson had arrived. We were talking about the logistics of when he lands.
Yes. How we go about it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, and now for the viewers, this is a little of a teaser that you are in a movie and you actually get killed by Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Real quick on that one, Sympathy for the Devil. It just got released a month or so ago.
There we go.
So it's out. I was contacted by the producers to be the stunt coordinator.
Perfect.
And so we communicated a little bit, and he goes, okay, well, the director's flying in. Let's all meet. I met with the director, nice guy. Everything was cool.
Yep.
Next day, he calls me up, and he goes, hey, Richie. He's like this foreign cat. I think he was from Israel. He's like, I got good news and bad news. And, the bad news, I'm going to bring in another guy to coordinate. I just worked with him. The good news, I want you to play the truck driver. And I'm like, I'm going to be in it? Okay.
Oh, I love it.
I started out as an actor, and
Sure.
I just kind of migrated towards stunts.
Exactly.
And stunts involve some acting occasionally, but this, I'm in a 20-minute scene with Nick, where he's taunting and tormenting me after I call him a derogatory statement.
Well, there is
I
that.
don't want to really say.
Yeah,
You're going to have to watch
we won't
it.
share it right now.
But basically, I find out that he's not a good guy, and he... Yeah, it doesn't end up good for me. Let's say that.
Yeah, that's. So your longevity on that movie is a little bit shorter. I think we got a couple more picks coming up. Yeah, there's a crew.
Yeah,
Wow.
we did a really cool episode of Impractical Jokers out at Bonnie Springs.
Right, exactly.
The Western, ranch that's not there anymore. Where if you follow the show, they go through all these challenges, and at the end, the loser has to get the big punishment.
Yeah.
Well, the punishment was for the guy named Q became the sheriff of Bonnie Springs.
Oh, yeah.
So me and 7 or 8 of my stunt guys put him through this gauntlet. We drag him down the bar with glasses. We throw him out a window. We teabag his head into a water trough.
Nice.
And have him jump off of a roof into a bunch of horse crap. And then the finale is me. I'm the bad villain. So we have the typical showdown on the main street.
Right.
We rigged his gun so it couldn't come out. So the guy yells, draw, and he can't get his gun out. And I just start blasting him with squibs and bloods flying. And yeah, so they were fun to work with.
That's cool. Hey, look.
Brittany.
Yes. Now we're seeing Top Fuel.
Yeah. Ran into Brittany. Had to squeeze a picture in there. We were talking a little bit, and I said, "May I?" I think my dad took that picture.
But and we've had the pleasure. We know John and the family for many, many years, and just Brittany Forrest, she's carrying on the tradition, and just NHR.
Yeah, she's nice. I didn't get to spend too much time with her.
Sure.
We talked for a couple minutes, and that was that. But she was cool. Up.
Now, here's one of our most important celebrities out of all the celebrities you've seen. You may recognize on the left would be my ace buddy to my left. In the middle is Ron Capps, one of the coolest funny car top fuel drivers I've known to mankind. Now, who is the gentleman to the right?
That's my dad.
Right on.
And
Right.
I really appreciate another. Former racer, now turned stuntman, John Capps is a friend of mine.
Right.
And, my dad's always, my dad is incredible because he spent 35 years as a commercial airline pilot. So instead of playing golf like all of his buddies, he was a drag racer. He raced the Centerline Championship Series in California. Wow. He had a Chevelle all tricked out with Hoosier tires, the big, our thing is going to the drag races.
Absolutely.
And
Rick, you can go ahead and bring us back. Thank you.
Yeah, so I talked to John and I said,
Absolutely.
hey man, my dad's coming in, can you hook me up? Not only did he dial me in a personal meet and greet with my dad and Ron, John actually came down when I picked my dad up at the airport. I took him over to the Egg and and John came down and met us for breakfast the day before we went to the races.
Wow.
So I owe John for taking care of that for me. I appreciate that. And
big shout out to Ron Capps and just making you and your dad, especially your dad, just feeling part of their extended family.
Yeah,
right?
real good guy.
Real good
Very
guy.
good guy.
I think we got a contact information. Step us through that, kind of the highlights, if you would, Rich, of just obviously you got your website and the different ways to get hold of you in social media, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure the YouTube. Well, I think everything's pretty accurate. The best thing to do, just Google Rich Hopkins stunts. Everything
you'll pop
will
it
come up.
back up.
Yeah, if you want to say hi or something.
Okay, now before we finish the show, because it's not in the notes by design, as I understand it, you went to do this. Yeah, he's checking his notes now. You went to do a major shoot somewhere, and people thought you were Fabio.
Yeah. Well,
I can't resist, man.
I don't know where you dug that little tidbit up. Okay, so we shot. I was Fabio's stunt double back in the '90s, and they was doing all the "I can't believe it's not butter" commercials. So there was one called Jungle, And so I was in the loincloth and all that. I'm swinging on the vines, doubling him.
Right.
So they flew like 150 of us down to mainland Mexico in the Gulf side, Catemaco, Mexico. Well, so like the whole town was in, uproar because they knew this big production was coming, and they don't know what I Can't Believe It's Not Butter is in Mexico. Sure. I mean, they didn't know. We would be walking around together. They didn't know who was the guy.
Right.
And I'd have to explain, no, he's the guy. I'm just his double or whatever. But so, I mean, it was weird because they didn't really know who he was. They sure as hell didn't know who I was, but they knew one of us was the guy.
So I'm kind of sitting by Fabio. Anyway. So
he's a really nice guy, by the way, 'cause since we're gearheads.
Yes, sir.
Real quick, if I have time.
Always.
We spent 3 or 4 days together or whatever.
Cool.
He has a charity, and I don't know if he still does, but back then he had a charity where he had bought 10 or 12, motorcycles, like 80s, 100s, and he used to rent a track outside of LA, and plus all the helmets and all the gear. He would take inner city kids out to the racetrack and suit them up and put them on bikes and let them, like some people take, inner city kids out horse riding. Well, he took them out horsepower riding. So he was a really nice guy.
And so are you. And brother, we are absolutely thrilled to have you on the show. I warned my producer, this one, we aren't going to worry about our schedule too much. We did a pretty good job staying close to our agenda.
I see zeros right there.
We got zeros up top.
They're not flashing yet. Get out of here. Get the hook. Oh!
Get the hook. So, man, we can't thank you enough for being with us. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this week's episode of Car Stars and Roll Bars. Do me a big favor. Like, subscribe, and share. Hit up what Rich is doing. And make sure every time you watch a commercial with a car in it, he probably had something to do with it, and you're going, dang, there's lots to this. And until next time, enjoy the ride.